Hello, welcome to the Chatting with Dr. Stevel show. I'm your host, Dr. Stevel, and currently I'm outside Studio Comix Press in Kitchener, waiting for Alfonso to open the door to let me in. Alfonso, are you there? Alfonso, yoo-hoo, Alfonso, Alfonso. Oh, there you are. Did I just wake you up from your morning nap, Alfonso?
Yeah. I normally sleep writing, so sorry, buddy.
Well,
I'll open it.
well, open the door and let me in, unless you're afraid of this COVID stuff.
Steve, my friend, good morning and welcome from the outside of the store here at the Studio Comics Press Central. How are you, buddy?
You're gonna have to speak up a little bit. You're quite quiet there, Alfonso.
Really?
Yeah, really. A word you're saying.
Oh, sorry, buddy. Okay, so before anything, if this sounds a little off, it's the connection of my internet always is kind of like crazy around here. So if you don't understand anything, just leave it on the comments, I guess, right? But yeah, pretty happy. Steve-O, what are you doing out there?
I'm waiting for you to let me in because security is eyeing me really funny because I don't have a mask on.
Hey, you know what? That reminds me. This is the first video on 2021 that we do, and most of the videos that we did last year that were with masks. So then
Yes.
this one right here is finally no mask video.
Right, so we can actually talk and see, and you can see my pretty mouth, and and it's really cool.
Pretty mild. That's right, Steve. So we are once again here.
We have about 3 people watching, 5 now. If you guys can just say hello, type something in so I know you're here. And about 3 of you are on Stevel. If you guys want to log in to Chatting with Dr. Stevel below, I can see your comments live because this weird program won't let you see it on Stevel because I guess Facebook hates me or something.
But yeah, has to be Chatting with Dr. Stevel, right?
That's right. Chatting with Dr. Stevel below right there. It says just log in and I can see your comment. Ooh, we have a comment. Let's see who's here. Karen Jang. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Aaron. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I hope that you had a great time. Same with everybody else around there.
Well, the connection's kind of bad. I could barely hear you. But good morning. Happy New Year to you, Alfonso. I forgot to say that because I was rude because you wouldn't let me in your store. Now he froze. Now I'm alone. Okay, for all you people that are really think I'm in Kitchener in a mall, I'm not. This is a green screen back here. Okay, I have some minions back there because some people take this stuff seriously and they're going to report me for being inside of a mall with Alfonso. I'm not. I'm actually outside of his store. Well, not actually in my underground lair, but this is just really convenient because this shows you what kind of store he is. And if you notice, there is a closed sign over here, right? So we're just waiting for Alfonso to log back on. And Karen says, Happy New Year to you as well. I will let him know, Karen. Oh, he's coming back on. All right. And let's just see. There he is. Jamie, how are you doing? Jamie Paget from over across the pond. Yo, Dr. Stevel, must be cold there. You're frozen for a while. Yeah, it is pretty cold. I mean, Alfonso's freaking freezing up, really, because, yeah, it is. See, he's like now miming.
I'm back.
Can you hear me, or are you just asleep, or what?
I don't know what happened. I just pressed a button that I don't know I shouldn't, and then I went completely dark, and then I have to come back.
Yes. Well, Karen says happy birthday to you, or happy New Year to you as well. That's old
Hey,
news now.
the 2020 news, man.
That's right. It's 2021. This is a second lockdown for you. So how are you doing, actually?
Well, at the beginning, like I have to say, like I put a little post, and at any time, if you cannot hear me, Steve, just like raise your hand, just put your hand beside, so then I know that I'm cutting off or something, right? So then I don't go over, and then I don't look like one of those cartoons in fast forward where you can just move the head and you don't understand what's happening.
Like that? Brandon says never push
Exactly, you got it.
the button. Never push the
Never
button, says
push the button.
Brandon Martins.
Braden, Braden Martins, happy New Year to you. And of course, I didn't know. I pressed the button to make sure of better my camera, and then this is what happened. I go on dark. So yes, beginning of year, 2021, 2020. At the end of the day, was a really challenging year, right? For many people, many places, industries. I would say like impacted the whole world, like as we know at this point. But specifically for us right here, there's nothing that we cannot that we can do to make sure to make this better. So the only thing that we can do is just follow up the rules, the all the stuff that has imposed by all the people, and then just keep moving forward in regards of like the business part, right? So in a business perspective, as a studio comics, it has been a different year. Everybody, like most of the regular people that they come, friends and family and people, close people, come and ask me like, "How you doing now? Like, what's the new step?" And I tell them that in the business perspective, it's it's different. It's a different way of doing business. It's not the same way that you used to have a person walking in and then shopping and doing all the stuff and have that close one-to-one type of interaction with the client or with the artist or with the person. Now it has to be more like indirectly, like maybe through social media, through an email, cameras, right? Like these interviews, we used to do it next, like side to side. Now we're doing it on the camera, right? And this is the first time that I kind of doing these type of things too. So it has evolved, it has changed. So then this is a new way of doing business.
But
How
what
much
about
has
business for you?
impacted?
How do you get your clients? Are you still printing?
Yes, yes. So then how, now that's where I was going. How much has impacted us, Studio Comics here? So yes, it does have impacted a lot, right? So then we, of course, like any other comic book shop, most of the comic book shops, they rely a lot on the sales of, those regular people that they walk in, maybe a curious shopper who, wants to come and buy a book, or maybe buy a little set of books, or maybe get to know the new comic book that it was recently produced, um, and these type of things that we don't have any more of that. So then there's no more walking traffic, if you want to call it somehow. There's Everything has moved to online. So then for us, Eddie, it's for us, for Studio Comics has impacted us. Yes, he has impacted
So,
us, but at the same time, I want to say that I see a lot of the support of the people. Currently, there's a lot of artists working in stuff. Not as many as a couple years ago, but there's still people working on their artwork. The way of developing
like what kind of
their
stuff are you doing now? Because before you would be printing lots and lots of pictures and prints from artists for comic cons, right? But that's not
yeah.
happening right now.
Yes, yes.
So
So
so so
then
what are you
this is
printing?
well, believe it or not, we have been printing a lot of like Kickstarter stuff. So then we have a lot of people that are running Kickstarter, a lot of artists that they're running currently Kickstarters that they're doing
Oh
new
wait,
projects.
Greg Highland says, how do you steal ideas now with Zoom?
Yeah, Greg, I have a great idea. It's called Monster Atlas.
Right? Yeah, you were talking to me about that. You said it's our idea, Monster Atlas, creating these monsters from all over the world, Alfonso. Don't tell me that Greg is trying to steal this from us. That's not cool.
Oh, Greg is it's such a funny element of Studio Comics. Greg is not only a really good friend of mine, but he always have this amazing I will get it aim to have the perfect comment at the perfect time.
Well, he seems angry, but okay, if you call me your friend, that's okay with me too. You know, um, Clayton George says, "Man, there's a lot of mindless video out there. I'm glad you're not that. Just tuned in after watching a girl from Panama talking to nobody."
Really?
I see that on the bus all the time, man. It's like talking to nobody. Then you check to see if they got something in their ears or a phone. They're not. And that's the freaky part. And
Oh
Clayton
boy,
says,
that's
"This is a
crazy.
Facebook chat." Yes, it is. Um, I I agree with you, Clayton. I like to talk to other people, especially about their lives and whatnot. Because talking to the screen, I just tend to go on and ramble like I am right now until somebody cuts me off, right? And Alfonso, that's your cue to cut me off because I'm just going to keep rambling and keep talking. Okay. See?
So as a background for everybody who knows or who doesn't know us, Steve and I, we normally run this video podcast when we were doing it on Saturdays, where we kind of like do talk about comics, kind of like a little update of what we do. I'm very very happy to say that Steve is part of that Studio Comics family. So then, yes, I mean we are don't go in,
We are
it's
Studio
just
Comics.
that's
See,
what we
that
are.
works. But when that Iris Allen said that for We Are Flash, that ruined the whole series. If you ever anyone who watches Flash on CW, it was a good series until Flash's wife, got bored and says, "We are Flash." It's like, oh geez.
Red flag.
But
Oh
then she
no.
bossed him around for the rest of the series, and it's annoying as hell. What do you mean you're
We're
going off
flat.
to save everybody? You should be home with me, cuddling with me. They don't need saving. You're mine. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. But
We are a big family here. We are that this should be the regular feature for Steve.
yeah, she seems to think that I ramble too much, and she doesn't let me use scissors either. So it's just thanks.
the yeah. So then going back to we're talking. I mean the impact of this whole um, closure was what we can do. We're here. We're happy that we're operating, and somehow we still serving people. We still printing. We are currently have some jobs going on. Yes, it's still moving. So the, the the story has to be keep moving. Then we have to keep moving and go for the next stage, right? So then now it's just time of patience, um, and work with what we have, right?
Right. And there's a lot of people doing Kickstarter, right? Because I've noticed that there's a lot of more people with time and they're creating new stories in Kickstarter and getting lots of money from me, to to help support them, which is cool. I don't mind as long as it's Canadian talent and it's decent. That's why I'm working
It's
extra. I mean, not just to pay for, services in other countries, but to support my fellow artists.
the industry in the comic book industry has like definitely take a big change this 2020 this I will call it like back in the day we call it a boom of the comics or boom of comics on Robert Bellamy. But I
Yeah.
want to do a big shout out. This is the podcast of the shout outs though, or this is the
Don't
video
don't
of the
don't
shout outs.
don't bother talking to Robert. He just comes on, says hello, how you doing, then he leaves and doesn't
It
watch the
goes.
rest of the show. So let's I do the same thing to his shows. I tune in, go, hi, how you doing? Then I leave. You know,
I'll say Robert runs his podcast that he runs regularly. He has in the last two shows or three shows, I don't know, like because last week I was completely disconnected of the social medias, but in the last two shows he invited a good friend Marianthi Evans to his podcast, and they were running like the top tens of videos or movies and stuff like that. It was pretty fun, pretty fun. If you haven't watched it, Robert, post the link of your video down below See, we're good. We're good like that, though. Come on, right?
Actually, Robert does a fantastic podcast called Vicious Circle Podcast, where he talks to
There you go.
WWE wrestler Sid Vicious, and
There you go.
he had
Yeah.
our friend Grimazing on there.
Yeah.
Grimazing was performing virtual magic for Sid Vicious, and the best part was what
Nice.
when Grimazing has those pretend cards and tells you to pick a card. The funniest part was watching Sid Vicious sit there, pick the cards out,
Trying to pick the
shuffling
card.
it in his hands, pretending to play along. It was wonderful, man. I just really enjoyed it.
That's pretty awesome, man. This is a pretty awesome one, man. So yeah.
Right.
So then, if you haven't watched it, watch it. Martin, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all these celebrations. We are here, Martin. I hope you have the best beginning of the year.
Right. Now, I
Okay.
was chatting with you yesterday. You as a store are doing everything you can. You're following all the guidelines. I was at your store hardly, and like you're cleaning, masks and everything, and yet they still go and shut you down. Um, and you're still happy about, like, not happy, but you're still upbeat about this. Look at that smile.
This is the reality of things is this, Steve. Like it doesn't matter how much we can go into the opposition of this. So it doesn't matter how much we can rant or talk or say on the internet how the bad situation is, right? Because we know it's happening. I mean, there's no reset button for this, right? So we are already in the middle of the pandemic. We are living it, right? That's an historical moment that I never thought in 1,000 years when I first set up the shop. And normally, I mean, myself, I sit down there and I kind of like look as much as I can and what will be the best ways or what it will be like um, um, risks to take when it comes to putting a business together, right? So you have different kinds of risks, such as like, I don't know, maybe theft, maybe a bunch of different ones, right? But one of them that you don't never that I never consider in setting up and having as a risk is a pandemic, because then no one really knows how to navigate during these specific situation where you are not allowed to do certain stuff, where you are allowed to do stuff with limitations. And as of right now, I guess that this is just a full learning curve, not only for a regular cultural movement, but also for as a business perspective, as a personal perspective, as so many things that they are rising with this pandemic thing. It seems pretty simple, right? When it comes to say, well, you have to close and you have to follow the instructions, or you have to be open and then you have to do these certain type of things. But the main core idea of when you are running these instructions, you're trying to do these things that they want to help to avoid the spread, or want to avoid the the big problem that could be if we don't take considerations is greater than actually having the store closed, right? So there is a big hit on, like I said, like I mentioned it yesterday, there's a big hit not only for like the whole industry, for like the whole retail industry. Be, Restaurants are getting hit too. Trade shows, right? That's we talk. The trade show community, the trade show part is it's getting hit really bad. There's other areas where you see an increase of market, you see an increase of requests that you need, right? Such as like services, things that they were putting aside. I know it's just way different. It's a different way of doing business, but definitely it's a different way of learning how to navigate through these type of things or survive, because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do now. It's just trying to survive, right?
Right.
um
I had an old saying I learned in the military: adapt and overcome. I mean, we're adapting now. We just got to overcome the problems. My suggestion to you, you still got to take it seriously, is go set up your shop any local Walmart or Costco. You'll have the crowds. You're safe there because COVID doesn't really, attack people in Walmarts. That's just observation. I'm not a scientist, but a lot of science is based on observation, and I'm observing my
I
eyes.
will do. I will be more upright in the sense of like yes, it will be kind of like a comparison, right? To compare any of the small little shops, um, or any of us, or any of the small businesses. It will be a little bit unfair to for me, anyways. I'm saying a studio comics, right? To me, it will be a bit unfair to compare myself to a Walmart, right? For many reasons, right? Because then,
If you sold
of
milk,
course,
maybe.
right? I don't like starting off as a comic book. We have, yeah, I have to understand, right? I see this point. I unfortunately I don't sell any first necessity, like first necessity items. So they're comic books, right? There's literature. So then anything that we do here for the sake is for entertainment. So then most of this stuff it can be transferred online, right? So if
Right.
you want to read a comic book nowadays, you go online and then you check your your next Kickstarter campaign. You check what's happening on Patreon. You start subscribing to these little things. I mean, before you used to go to your comic book store and spend $40 in comic books, in new comic books. Maybe now it's going into your favorite Kickstarter campaign and get maybe another 3 or 4 books that you know that you're going to get in a few months, but then you are moving into a different type. Again, it's a different type of making business, especially for us, right? If I was, let's say, a convenience store, or if I was just a different kind of business that actually competes directly with whatever products, um, with whatever products that Walmart might have, I would be a little bit more operating.
Um, on the same line that what you're saying, Martin Boruta says so many of my small business clients are suffering hard through the pandemic. Um, Shifting to more online business model works for some, but not for others. The alternative of being laid up for weeks and weeks in a hospital with COVID infection or worse, though. Small businesses will definitely not be the same after this.
No, and I totally agree with Martin though. Like small business, this one of the things after we chat yesterday, I was thinking like, what was the main reason why many of the current business they weren't they are really closing down and going in a different direction, right? And I thought that maybe they weren't ready for that transition on or that yeah, I call it transition from one-on-one sales to online sales. Most of us, especially for, I will talk now in a personal, as a business perspective, right? As a studio comics perspective, we were kind of like already working on that transition because most of the orders, I would say like 90% of the orders that they go for printing, they come from printing, they are online. You normally they send me an email with the
Right.
specifications of what they want printed, right? They have to send me the files directly for any kind of like share media or any kind of service that way, and we process it here. So in a sense, yes, we have that process that was already set up for these type of things. One thing that we didn't consider, myself, I didn't consider was the whole like now we don't have a place to display the books, right? Because that was the main thing where I was more interested when I set up the store. Because I mean, we can still print as a print shop. I can still print anywhere, right? I can still print. I'm printing right now, right? The only difference is like I don't have the people walking in to to serve, right? So and why are we printing? Because we still doing printing, we're still doing signage that's aside of doing the comic books. We do postcards, we do the triptychs, we do flyers, we do all this commercial printing that is adapted to it to what is needed, right? So yes, we have been doing a lot of printing, but unfortunately we weren't, I personally wasn't ready to have the storefront closed, right? So then we gotta find a new way to move that part of the business. Maybe start doing a big online store with all the comics that we have up front, that we do, by the way. Right? Maybe push it a little bit in different sense. I don't know. There's still many things that you can actually implement to make this better, and of course keep working with the rules that they have imposed to us, that they haven't given to us, and at the same time make sure that everybody is safe and healthy in a
Right.
sense, right?
Clayton George says, I think I'm going to miss just strolling into a comic store and finding something I didn't even know existed. You can't find unknowns online, and you certainly can't pick them off the shelf and flip through them.
And
Agree?
that's right, Clayton. That's right, Clayton. I totally agree with that, because most 90, I would say like 80% of the people that they walk here, or maybe 70% of the people they walk here, that's incredible. And Steve, you've been the true witness of that in the days that you were here, where people, they don't really know what they want to buy. And they start
Yeah.
flipping through the independent comic books, and they end up taking one, two, three comic books just to read, to learn. And that's an experience that it's a different way. I mean, the
And
thing
and
we
I,
are right
and
now.
I've been there. I've also been there in the store when people come in and they go, "I want a comic book for my kid. What do I find?" And then you let them look through. I mean, online it's not that easy. Robert
It's
Bellamy, you're right. Shopping is still possible, but impulse shopping is pretty much gone.
Yes, yes. So the main thing, like if you see it like on a business perspective, the business have to be more than anything. They have to be ready to have an online presence. Though, if you have an online presence and then you are over there pushing your online presence, you're gonna be good. You're set. If you are, let's say, like a restaurant, or I want to say a restaurant, a business in general, who is not ready to serve online, then you're going to have a little bit of a struggle. It's not impossible, though. You are going to have a little bit of a struggle, because you have to adapt to this new way of serving your clients, right? Even myself right now, I'm still finding the ways to do this, like curbside delivery, curbside pickup, right? We've been doing it. We did it before, but then now we have to like polish it, to make sure that it gets to an actual service, that is an actual a procedure, right? That you have an actual
Yeah,
way
but
to go.
how would you do curbside pickup? Because you're inside of a mall. I mean, are you going to walk all the way out to the door, leave it on the Because you're in Kitchener, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of like dodgy people there. Or do you go to the back, right, by your back door, and like give out your box, and you have some people walking by. What kind of like business deal is happening over at the Studio Comics? That's going to look really dodgy.
So this is the amazing part of this, though. So then, yes, we're inside of mall. We're inside of Frederick Mall. We're inside of Frederick Street Mall. This is a pretty old school mall, if you want to call it somehow. We're not like on a major mall. It's a really old school mall. The demographics on the mall is no, not young people walking around and stuff like that.
Greg says dumpster service.
So then this is what happened on the back of the unit that I have. There is a we have like pretty much the dumpsters. That's where like put the garbage. However, at the beginning, we were, like I say, we're trying to implement these systems, and at the beginning, I thought it was easier to do it.
Don't read that. We're just doing a
Because
cheap promo for Greg Highland. That's all, to help him out. Poor guy lives in Hamilton. I mean, like, he needs the help.
so then we're doing that drop off on the drop off on the back of the unit, right? The good thing is that I learned that is permitted. What is permitted during lockdown, as we know that we are right now in the middle of a lockdown. The one thing that is permitted on the lockdown, and I look for it, as you know, Steve, all non-essential retail outlets in malls are permitted to be open. That means that the mall is open, right? For pickup or delivery only. In-store personal retail shopping is not permitted. What it means that exactly where you are, Steve, right now, in the place that you are, oh no, this way, in that place that you
Outside.
are right now, right by the entrance of the shop, is where you are gonna be able to, come around and then do the curbside pickup or I can, go outside and then just put on. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Just come and knock on the door, and I will be happy to do it. This is one of the things, and I read it. Right, it's a COVID guidance that was revised on December 26th. So it might be changed so far. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. So let's
And
read
for
some
all those people,
comments, Stevie.
right? I know, man. It's
Comment
great.
time.
Alfonso needs security. Some bouncers and bodyguards.
Yes,
I got
please,
your back,
Martin.
man. uh,
Martin, if is there anyone that you can recommend, I would be happy to hear that.
hello. This is
Stay
something
there,
that you
Stevie.
missed earlier. You read the one on the right. Martin sent this to us.
Feliz Año Nuevo.
Okay. And the other one is in Polish. It goes Szczęśliwego Nowego Roku, which means Happy New Year in Polish.
Yeah. Oh,
And the other one is probably same thing in Spanish.
Feliz Año Nuevo.
Ooh, the way you say it. Say it again.
That's gonna cost you. The second one cost you.
First one's free, huh? It gets me all tingly inside, and then I gotta pay if you want to say it again. See that?
Feliz Año
There he
Nuevo.
goes, man. That's business talking, right? Business thinking all the time. You always want to make money. Okay,
What
Robert.
else happens?
Unless I go to grocery store shopping, I usually see people. Like when I go to Studio Comics, located at 385 Frederick Street in the mall. He's trying to give you business.
It's
Dumpster service.
Robert is it's such an amazing guy. Like I cannot like, and this goes like for everyone. Like I mentioned it before, and then I will I will say it again. Even with Greg Highland with dumpster
Oh,
service.
hey, I got someone special for you. Ready?
Okay. Oh, dude, you're amazing, buddy. How are you?
Oh man. Um,
It's
Karen
awesome.
says, "Say it again, but with the Alfonso pose." What you know?
Let's say it like that.
Happy New Year in
Gracias.
Spanish.
Oh, happy now, Karen. Gotta wait for next year. Happy New Year. Oh no, Feliz Año.
Oh man.
Duh. I'll see you next time with each other, Karen.
First one is free, always leaving us wanting more. All right. Clayton
Good
says,
friend.
I mean, I knew about Matt Howarth and those annoying Post Brothers comics. And when his online Bugtown Mall showed up, I could go look. New Unknowns don't have that presence.
And
Yeah.
Clayton, this is something really interesting though, because then this exactly pans out again for what the comic book industry for entertainment is, right? So then you gotta think about like us, that we are core comic book collectors or comic book readers or comic book aficionados, people that they like comic books and read comic books. It has this this hobby or this activity that you normally do. Now it got like exposed way bigger, because now think about this: if you like comics, you have access to not only read all the stuff online, but then you have videos, you have movies, right? You have many different streaming channels that you can now entertain yourself with. Like if you want to watch, for example, like now in the holidays, I finally decided to get one. I have a smart TV. We at home we didn't have a smart TV, or TV was pretty dumb. So in order for me to get any of those services, such as like the Disney Plus or that what do you call the other ones, Amazon channels and all these little things, I need to buy a little device called a Roku thingy, right? Commercial free, by the way. It's like a little chip. They call it like a stick, fire stick, or something like that.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get one in my vaccine. Don't worry. Okay.
So, So then you get that stick, you get it plugged into your TV.
I'm gonna get a chip so I can get access to all your online stuff. I'm excited about this.
Dude, now if you wanna read more content about comics or anything, you just go into the Disney Plus channel. And then you go into the Star Wars universe, and then you start watching all the comic book on Marvel stuff that they have over there. Dude, like the whole entertainment industry, that's where we are. Comic books is the entertainment industry and somehow. And this entertainment industry, on this area of the entertainment industry just got like blown right big, right? Because there's so much access to too many options for you, right?
Baby Yoda.
And you can see it. And you can see it nowadays, dude. Like, do you watch Mandalorian?
Of course. It was
There
amazing.
you go.
It's like,
I
wow.
have like this is one of the things. So then, are we done talking about any sad things?
Um, Gramazing says it's a new year. What's a great indie comic to start the year with? And Alfonso.
Da-da-da. What's the year? What's the great coming? Oh, well, with that being said, for my little friend, so then we have the next section that is Steve Mail,
Steve Mail. All right.
where
Well, the
Steve
first
will
thing
show what is he's buying. There you go.
the first thing I got, which is really exciting, is Dwellings by Jay
Oh, yes.
Stevenson. By Jay Stevens. Now,
Ooh,
Dwellings looks like your
ooh.
typical old Harvey comic books, right? You know, like Richie Rich or Casper, but it's adult.
Oh,
Okay, this first story I read was really cool, but it was shocking at the same time. And I'll let you know why. Because when you got characters like this, you expect fun and comedy, but this is brutal murder, killing, and it comes as a shock only because someone cute like this like bashes someone on the head with a rock, and they got crows like eating body parts and stuff. This is, and it's really, on top of that, it's well written too. It's one of those old traditional horror comics that it's got it's got a good story to it. And at the end, it's a nice little twist, which is like, ooh, I totally
like
recommend it. Dwellings is something that I got on Kickstarter from Jay Stevens. Hopefully it's a start of a new series. It's I liked it. I kind of read it and like, wow, wow, this is so cool. On top of that, you get
Jay
extra
Stevens
prizes and stuff with this.
on the thing. Jay Stevens did something called the Jet Cat. Is
The who?
Jet Cat? Jay
Get
Stevens?
Cat?
Yes. So he has a bunch of different works there, isn't it?
I don't know. This Martin guy recommends Adventures of Aurora Man.
Of course. Of course.
But
You
I don't want to,
cannot.
as much as I like Adventures of Aurora Man. I'm not gonna take Martin seriously anymore because he says Latinos are much sexier than Poles. So Martin, you're unfriended. You will not be commenting on this anymore because I'm controlling you.
Muchas gracias, Martín. Te lo agradezco.
Ooh, that sounded cool.
I should start
Arr.
doing like a podcast in Spanish though. Like all Spanish.
And what am I supposed to do? Just like interpret it and just like a
Smile and wave.
see now Martin, now he needs dwelling. See, first taste is free,
It sounds
Martin.
fantastic though. It sounds fantastic. And as far as I know, Jay Stevens has worked for so many. It's a cartoonist though, but he's a good cartoonist. But he has worked in many other projects. One thing that I remember from him is a comic book called Jet Cat.
Get
I
cat.
read that book with yeah Jet Cat. So it was fun. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to see what is this new content on Dwellings. Looks good though. Looks really good. What else you got?
Jay is awesome. And I've got this other mail. I got these two that came from the same person. First was a big box, which I
Oh,
opened to save us time because I had the supervisor come and do scissors. And inside was first of all, you have your copy of Tommy Gun Banshee.
I don't. Can you pass it to me, please?
Here. Take it.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh, it's nice. Nice.
Right. That's the first issue. That's not what's in the box.
Oh,
In the box
this
is a
number one.
second issue of Tommy Gun Banshee,
Oh,
and I ordered 10 copies just because I can hand them out as presents or sell them, if I ever go to a con or whatnot. I even wanted to,
yeah.
I was going to bring these to you, Studio Comics, to sell, but you're not letting me in. So I got to
No,
keep them now.
just
But
taking at the door, and I'll pick it out later.
But what goes with that was another package was sent by him. And this package contains, he drew me in the comic book. Okay.
You're another comic book character.
Yeah. Really. First he gave me a sketch cover of me with the main character, Tommy Gun Banshee. And that's me with the fart gun.
Nice.
Here, let me just get rid of you for a sec. Yeah, isn't that cool?
It is quite cool.
And why did I press that by mistake? And then what he sent me was I purchased the original artwork from him of me.
Oh, nice.
Getting my butt kicked. See, right here is Tommy Gun Banshee, and everybody there is trying to kill him, right? And so what he does is this big guy falls on him, and then he throws him, and then the guy behind him is none other than me without my goatee. When I attack him, I jump on him. It's like, yeah, I got you. And there's no way he can get out except he grabs a bottle and smashes it on my head. And then the next guy's going to stab him. So you want to find out what happens next? You get your copy of Tommy Gun Banshee #2. You can get it at Blue Banshee Press, or if you talk real nice, we can get it at Studio Comics. Like I said, I was going to leave the box here, but the curbside pickup you've got here, the homeless man's probably going to take that and use it as a pillow. And no, not going to happen. So we got to wait till this COVID thing is done, and I can send it to you.
What place do you think this is? Like Hamilton?
I told you, I was at Kitchener before, downtown Kitchener City Hall for one of their Comic Cons, and I dressed like the overseer from the movie Glass. You had the raincoat on. Right? Who's the main character from Die Hard? Bruce Willis, right? Just as the overseer, a superhero with a raincoat on, so you can't see his face, a baseball cap. And I was walking through there, and people were complaining that I was one of the homeless guys that was there, like just outside City Hall, and they were going to get rid of me. I think it was a good thing that security guard was a geek, because he was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." But the other guy was twisting my arm. He was about to send me out. And then one guy, he's going, "Hey, that's the overseer." And as I'm getting dragged out, I'm like, "Yes, somebody knows who I am. Yay." Before the big beatdown, but
your cosplay was too accurate, man. That's why.
And it's also Kitchener, man. I'm sorry, man, but when downtown City Hall, it's dodgy.
We have amazing things in Kitchener.
Once again, it's just observation. That's all it is. And
we have amazing things in Kitchener.
Part of science is observation, hence it's science.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the next comment before I actually got into this.
Okay, Robert Bellamy adores The Pitiful Human Lizard.
Me too.
It's a great comic book. Sadly, it's no longer being done. Jason Liu has moved on to other adventures. I've got all the trade paperbacks for that Pitiful Human Lizard. It takes place in the Toronto area, because he lived in downtown Toronto.
Another beautiful area.
Right? And most of the places in the comic book are places that we've all been and seen and know. And the parents of the Pitiful Human Lizard is based on his own parents. So the stories are more natural and we can all connect with it. It's not just a big superhero going out beating stuff up. It's like a guy who wants to be a superhero who's not the best and he's trying, and we can all relate to it. Oh, people like me can relate to it. That things go wrong. And I know what that's like. So it's like, oh, I like this book. Could relate to the guy. Except I found this guy to be very, very happy and had no anger issues. Me, all that stuff, I have anger issues.
Brayden, Brady's comment.
Go ahead.
The previous comment.
The ring is coming?
There's another comment previous to that one, the Robert.
Oh,
I don't know
what?
if you can put it on the screen. It's from Braden.
Oh, um, Prehysteria, Age of Dinosaurs. Comic series will hopefully be launching
Prehistoric.
3 new issues this year.
So the Braden Marks is as a writer, Saskatchewan. He's been doing recently. He's been doing a lot of work with his book. Is The Age of Dinosaurs. Has been doing really good. The art is fantastic. The writing is really good. You can catch a couple of the interviews where he actually talks about his book. Amazing book, by the way. And then we are really proud to say that we produced that for him. Um, the books Prehistoria, Age of the Dinosaur comic books. Check it out. I don't know if you have any specific page. Is that one Prehistoria, Age of the Dinosaur? Check on the videos. There's a bunch of content over there. Also, really, really good. Martin put another link for a Kickstarter when we were talking about Kickstarters. There is one there. If you can catch it, Stevie, if you can.
Uh, so what is this?
Martin says
War World Mob. La Colones.
world. I don't know. But this is another example, right? So then now we have a lot of people, like lots and lots of people trying to look for new content online, and this might be good, right? Might be the option to go, right? For a new option to read, right?
There's
Pretty
another
awesome.
site, if you go on Facebook, it's called Canadian Comic Books on Facebook. Canadian Comic Books or Canadian Superheroes. That's
Yeah.
that's created by a friend of ours called Sam Noir, who is a writer in the Mississauga,
Yep.
Toronto area. And he gets various artists to help him create books. So usually on that
Yep.
page, there's a lot of Kickstarter information of Canadians
Yep.
producing great artwork, great stories. And if you want to support them, you
Yep.
can just read check out the Kickstarter pages that they supply,
Yep.
and
Yep.
if you like it, you support them, and you'll get the book eventually about 7 years later, but or sooner.
It's 8 years later. One of the things that I have seen now, this is now talking about like a little bit of stuff coming to Kickstarter, right? Because it has been like a really crazy year. Most of the stuff have gone on like delivery or like online orders and things like that. Um, I have seen an increase of complaints of delivery services. Like most of the Canada Post, UPS, most of the FedEx, most of these delivery services had been getting really, really slow, and some people they are waiting for a long time to receive their packages. And I don't want to say that it's frustrating for someone. It's frustrating for someone who's been waiting that long. But at the same time, us as suppliers of the products, sometimes we don't have control like how far it's gonna go, right? We do our best to make sure that those companies actually follow up their procedures, but again, they are adapting to this new, I guess, like overload of mail, right? And especially if you ordered something on Christmas, you for sure have to wait until the New Year's to receive it, right? So that normally happens on a regular year without any pandemic stuff. Now, nowadays
especially
it's I guess a little bit.
especially if you're coming from the States, your package. I had a package that I ordered in September that came after Christmas, so it's a good
Yeah,
thing I really wasn't waiting on that.
yeah.
Hint, hint,
Yeah, so then
Karen.
there's things that you gotta be a little bit patient when it comes to just receiving. Just be patient with your postal service though, because believe me that us as service providers, we're trying to do our best, and this is something that I've been dealing myself like with a few cases where I send some packages and it takes a little bit longer than expected. Um, I mean that's I mean, we're trying to do our best, but again, we are relying on a second service, right? That it's there,
Well,
right? So
older
be
people like
patient,
me
right?
are used to snail mail. I used to work on ships. I would write to people that I've met, or when I was training in Saskatoon, Dundurn,
Mhm.
Karen would send me letters, and it would take a while to get there. But snail mail, once you get it, it's fantastic. Not like today, you can just text somebody in a couple seconds. But this was kind of
Yep.
cool. Like even when I was in Bosnia and Afghanistan, I would get packaged through the mail, which was really freaking cool. It's like, yay! Even though this is a week or two old, it's still fantastic to read. But I'm used to that stuff, and
Excellent.
No ring.
Okay.
Ding ding.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have another comment.
Yeah, this one's too long. It's I think it's about the Kickstarter that Martin mentioned. You can read it.
Yes. It says World War II, 5 men, all members of different crime families, all U.S. soldiers, undertake a clandestine mission, all ordered by the head of the 5 families. For crimes against the mafia, Benito Mussolini must be killed. Ooh. They must be overcome by blood and family rivals, the Nazis, and the men to taking
Loyal
dues
to the
and
deuce.
go behind do what the dues and go behind the army brass back to do it for La Cosa Nostra. Ooh. Well, that sounds
Okay.
interesting, Martin.
It does. It sounds like it already happened because they did catch Mussolini and hanged him and dragged his body across the street, or the roads. But who knows?
I
But
like it
sure.
though. I want to take a look. I'll take it. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for sending us that amazing option, this amazing suggestion. So I will for sure take a look, though. You'll for
And
sure
that's
take a look.
any
And
other
that's the
questions
end.
out there?
I don't think there's any other questions, but we're leading to the last 9 minutes of this transmission, this little podcast.
Already?
Uh,
I can't believe
yeah,
it. I've
dude.
been having so much fun. I can't believe it's almost over. Oh my.
um, there's a few things. There's a few things that we have that I got. I don't know if you let me say it, Steve, because of course it's your channel. But I want to thank to and then ring the bell anytime that I'm ready to go. Um, Thank you very much for all of the people they've been supporting and somehow sharing their post, being a presence online, coming, knocking on the door, calling, asking questions, anything, any little bit support. It's always well appreciated. Thank you to all of you for, of course, helping us with this. At the same time, it's for all of us. I mean, as a personal note, I want to thank to my family, of course, here in Canada, family over there in Mexico, for again all the support and more than anything, all the moral support that it comes with it. Right? It's
Thoughts and
really,
prayers. Thoughts
really
and prayers. You got my thoughts and prayers.
yes.
That's it. No money. Thoughts and prayers. You can do it. In my
All the
part.
support. It's that's good that we are here, right? As a business, as a person, like that's personal note, as a business perspective on the business part, they're coming different kind of times. We are still like myself. I still finding ways to make sure that this is still working. We're lucky enough to have a few clients that they still help us to cover a few of the expenses. Of course, we've been impacted like any other businesses around. So of course, any little bit of help, it's well appreciated. Thank you though. Thank you very much. But more than anything, I want to thank to, of course, like I said, my family. I want to thank to my wife, to my daughter at home. And I believe like some days I'm trying. I think I feel like I'm going crazy, and then she has the key, the word to say, you can do it. You just gotta go back on track and put me back on. She put me back on the line, and then it moves forward. So then I wanna publicly say thank you, thank you, baby. You are really important in those whole things,
My
and of
mom
course
had
my
the same
daughter.
motivation. No, my mom had the same motivation for me. She says, "You can do it, or I'm going to hit you on the head with this." There's like that. That was.
That sounds like me. That sounds like my wife. No, 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 maybe.
She's going to kill you.
But but thank you for all of us and your support. And there is one thing that I can promise is there is more studio comics to come. That we have more projects that we're working on. That it seems that we're really quiet, but in reality we are kind of right now like a how can I say like a chrysalis. We're like a butterfly that we are,
Like in a cocoon.
building in a cocoon.
And then
Exactly.
we're gonna like crawl out and be a butterfly and be pretty and stuff until a car hits us with a window and boom, it's all game over.
So we are working on many stuff. We're working on some really cool projects. Um, One of them that we already announced was Aurora Man. We have a reprint of Aurora Man #1.
And
Again,
you did the cover.
yes, and again, postal service has been a little bit slow in the last little while. So as soon as I receive the package with the books and everything, we'll start announcing that little extra one. So well, let's keep moving.
And I'll meet you
It's
behind the
always
dumpster
good.
and pick up my copy.
You can come to the front door though.
Me and the homeless guy, we can be buddies again. He does smell
Oh
like
man,
urine though, but it's okay.
I will save all the dumpster pickup for my regulars.
Um, Jamie Paget, he says his favorite comic, The
The
Beano.
Beano. Oh yeah. Oh
You saw
yeah.
an issue, right?
That's a good. What is it?
That's the one that Sergio sent to me.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's
The Beano.
awesome. It's a European comic. Love it.
I guess
Excellent.
I guess Britain, it really is a small place. Everyone reads the same comic.
That now everybody going to watch the same movies, and you know what? On
That's
the
right.
next episode of this chatting with Dr. Steve, we are going to be talking about Mandalorian. You know what? Finally, watch Mandalorian, so
Me too.
we can talk about that. Yes,
That's right. I
yes,
watched
yes.
it on Christmas. It was my Christmas present to me. I binged watched all 8 episodes, and it was cool. Even though all the jerks out there that say don't post spoilers, we're posting spoilers. And I wasn't trying to read anything, but when they post pictures of it, it's like, really, guys? Who freaking taught you graphic designs? Oh my gosh, why? It's like you give a slow child a gun, a loaded gun. It's like, oh, please don't no, don't give them graphics. Don't teach them how to do social media. Sorry.
No, it's pretty effective though. I like it. I like this. It's pretty effective.
Okay, that was fun,
Oh,
man.
love it, Steve. Like anything, that goes for everyone out there. Please be safe. Please stay healthy. Um, please share as much time as you can with your families now that you have the opportunity to be at home, right? Now that you have this big chance to be at home, make the best out of these times that they are challenging, that they are difficult. Stay healthy, but more than anything, reach and stay with the family, stay safe, and we miss you. We miss you here at the store. I promise that if things are getting a little bit better and by the end, we miss everyone at the store. We miss, we, as hard as it can sound, we miss Steve right here at the shop. We miss all the people right here at the shop. And whenever these things changes, I will be doing a big party around here, and everybody's invited.
They
Without
have to wear
masks.
masks.
We're not gonna be wearing masks though.
Yeah. Well, the
Or
good thing
maybe,
about
you know what? Hmm.
thanks, guys. Great start to a day, says Karen.
Cheers. It's more coffee with Steve and Alfonso.
That's right. Morning coffee. Yay. And the best thing about Zoom and these kind of meetings, we don't have to wear pants.
No?
When the store opens, you have to put pants on.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't tell me that. So now, okay, fine. Next time I'll do it.
Okay. Otherwise, you can just use the mask and just cover up. Well, thanks a lot, Alfonso. Thanks for spending the morning with me, and everyone else that was watching. Thank you very much. Thanks for the decent questions and suggestions for comic books and shows to watch. This is great. we did learn a little bit more. Like you, Alfonso, are a big inspiration because even though like the rules are kicking you in the groin, you just like keep getting back up and saying it's okay, we can do this. That's a lot of respect,
Because
man.
we
Because
can.
yeah, we can, yay! Thanks a lot,
We
and
will
hopefully we'll
overcome
talk to you
this too.
soon.
Tomorrow we have another. What are we doing tomorrow? Are we
You
repeating
want
the
to do another one
experience?
tomorrow? I
Do you have anything else
that
for
was
it?
my life, just those books. I mean, like, all right, we'll try and talk tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
All right, thanks. Now I'm committed. Thank you, Alfonso. All right, thanks a lot, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah.